How did Vietnam change the view of a U.S. soldier? Do you believe the U.S. was supportive towards all military personnel during the Vietnam War?
Well, there were lots of protests. I don't think anybody wanted to fight this war, except the government. And the longer we were in this war, at great cost to American lives, the longer we stayed there, the more people turned against it. There were many atrocities committed by American soldiers and the Vietnamese as well. But it was war, and war is bloody and merciless.
As you said that you did not believe that the U.S. was supportive, what is the main reason behind that?
I don't know. We are very supportive now of a war that we don't want to be in. But I think that there are many people who were veterans of the Vietnamese War who support this war and the soldiers that are fighting the war. And those people don't want our soldiers who are fighting in Afghanistan or Syria to get the same disgraceful treatment that Vietnamese war veterans got.
Veterans viewed during the war. In an article by Alan Cutter, there was a personal story talking about how he was treated during and after the Vietnam War. He talked about how when his colleagues and himself got home, they didn't get a thank you or anything. He also said he was
The military was not a respected institution. According to Harvard's Sitkoff, as never before, Americans after the Vietnam War were neither respected or trusted. One of the most enduring legacies of the Vietnam War and its negative impact on public opinion is Vietnam Syndrome, the name of the paralyzing effect on U.S. foreign policy, brought on by the fear of getting involved in another questionable war with no clear objective and a defined endgame.
The Vietnam War was the most publicized war in American history, certainly the first televised war with the terrible images and evening news. According to Terry Leonard, television brought the brutality of war into the comfort of the living room. Vietnam War was lost in the living rooms of the United States, not to the battlefields of Vietnam.
According to Tim Sia from the New York Times,
operations, recruit and hire veterans. The post-9/11 GI Bill provides benefits for higher education and vocational training to help veterans. Organizations such as the Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America, Veterans of Foreign Affairs, and American Legion are focused on veteran issues. Many other nonprofit organizations are helping veterans in their transition to American life. Part of the inducement for this is because veterans have done what the majority of Americans do not want to do. Another more likely reason for the positive receptions is that Americans feel bad for how Vietnam veterans were treated when they returned home. The coverage of Vietnam veterans emphasizes not only the fighting overseas and the cold-hearted decisions by government leaders, but also the divisions on American soil. They portray the returning Vietnam veteran as a lonely individual who only has a weak link to society. The military still lives in the gloom of the Vietnam War. The issues we confront today are legacies from Vietnam, such as how to successfully recruit and manage an all-volunteer force, wage counterinsurgency versus conventional warfare, mitigate collateral damage and civilian casualties, and the military's relationship with the rest of American society.